Hello and welcome to a new challenge. We had a long period of hot weather, which usually ends to some strong storms. This time the storm hit my customer's yard from the open field with some very strong winds. The result was 7 Windthrows. I have demonstrated to you how to diffuse a hung-up tree. Those have been in optimal conditions, these are not. So this video is demonstrating how to bring down and remove windthrows and hung up trees in practice. After watching this video, you will understand how risky and dangerous trees the windthrows are and what kind of tensions and powers they have, even though they look peaceful and still. I want you to pay attention to my chainsaw handling, my positioning near the trunk and the timings. I won't put any music to this video, so you will have a chance to hear what I heard during the job. Alright, here is the first windthrow. At first it looks like one tree, but there are actually two full-grown uprooted by the strong wind. This means that I have to be careful with both trunks and the root ball. I don't want to release any tension without contact. I cut the first cut from down up around 1/3 of the width. You will see that the root ball creates now the pinching to the lower part of the trunk. Here you can see the pinching happening below the trunk, because the upper wedge is getting wider and wider. I'm standing clear from the trunk and the root ball. I don't have any body parts under or above the trunk, because I have no idea where the trunk will go after being cut with. I'm cutting the next trunk and have to say now afterwards that I shouldn't have stayed in between of the two trunks. That already cut trunk is limiting my options a lot in case the second trunk does something unexpected. I advise you to cut the second tree from this kind of situation from outside of the tree, if you know what I mean. Please comment how you would have done this. With this second trunk, I need to read the trunk and the root ball at all times and be ready to remove out of the way. Here you could see some different tensions and forces. Even though the trunk was almost completely cut off the root ball, the fibers were strong enough for the root ball to be able to pull the whole trunk with it about 20 centimeters. You can see the long fibers in the end. Have to avoid those as well. Cutting from the outside of the trunk gives the cutter some extra protection, since the vertical stump can block the trunk if the trunk swings sideways after cut. Here is the next windthrow. You can call it a windsnap also. What do you call these trees in your region? Here you can see the damage and the weight onto the building. The crown is hanging in the air mostly, so I decided to cut the crown off to ease some of the tension. But before that, I need to limp the biggest branches off to lighten the weight and also minimize the probability of extra damage to the roof and the wall. Cutting the crown off is quite risky cut, because the trunk is above my head. Did you hear that? It was the tension and forces leaving the tree. I wasn't even halfway through the trunk and it snapped already. Oh, feeling lucky. The safest way to do this cut is to get help from some machine like a forwarder or a crane. Okay, now it's time to cut the trunk off from the broken stump. I'm evaluating the remaining forces and try to estimate where to cut the trunk so it would go away from me and hopefully drop from the roof. I start cutting near the stump, but not where the tree is broken. The trunk is quite sensitive and starts to move quite easily. Try to guess where it wants to go. This time the pinching force is onto off the trunk. Do you know why? Why is it different than in the previous tree? That went nice and uneven fully. Now that the tree didn't have the crown. I wonder what would have happened if it would have been the whole tree. The stump looks interesting and easy. There aren't any forces left in the stump now that the trunk is separated from it. Or is there? Stay sharp and continue watching. There we go. Steel got stuck in the fibers because the tensions got released. Excellent example how it looked easy and created a new problem. This is one of the reasons I have always multiple chainsaws with me on a tree cutting job. Husqvarna to the rescue. Sweden rescuing Germany. There, the Husqvarna got almost stuck as well. These are very unpredictable. Okay, enough cutting. Thanks for helping, Husqvarna. Now beat it. Alright, a windthrow with a root ball. That means that the trunk's pinching point is again on the lower side of the trunk, hence cutting it first. The trunk is leaning peacefully. I'm trying to see if there are anything creating sideways momentum. The tree is hung up to the other trees, so it can fall by the vibrations coming from the chainsaw. I don't like this. It's better to stand clear of this one. There we go. The root wall was pulled the trunk towards it and quite fast this time. But the tree remains hung up to the other trees. Then the next one. This one is leaning onto a structure as well. Hence the forces and tensions changed compared to the previous tree. This one looks like peaceful as well. Let's see if the appearance deceive or not. Holy smoke, didn't see that one coming. What do you call that there where you are from? So the difference between this tree and the tree on the previous building is that this time I didn't cut the crown off. The crown was heavy enough to create, together with the wood pile, a leverage strong enough to split the trunk. This is a great example to stay clear of the trunk while cutting. Look how far the split goes. I should have stabilized the trunk by cutting the crown off before this cut. Now you see clearly why it's not a good idea to be in between of the two trunks. I'm stuck there. What happens if the next one barbecues as well? The root ball is still up, because this one shares the same ball with the previous one. This time I'm cutting the upper side first, because I'm expecting something to happen. And that leads into the tree pinching the chainsaw. I don't know, don't ask. Husqvarna to the rescue again. Sorry about the last time, Husqvarna. Thankfully Husqvarna isn't mad and is willing to help. Oh, there is a third tree in the same root ball. Please don't pinch the Husqvarna and hit me to the chin. Okay, back to business. Now I have to release the tree and the chainsaw without getting hurt and without damaging the steel MS500. Try to listen to the sounds coming from the tree. That was the reason to cut the lower part last. Based on the previous barber chair tree, I was expecting this tree to behave the same way. By cutting below last, I was able to slow the splitting motion and control the situation better. Now that the biggest tensions and forces are released, I can focus on releasing the steel chainsaw shape. Yes, it's still stuck. Better cut it loose. Will I cut the other chainsaw? I just quickly show you how we remove the cut ranks. Have you waited the tractor to come and assist with the cutting as well? I didn't, because I wanted to lower the costs. Maybe I should have prioritized safety and have him assist as well. Okay, let's skip to the recap and conclusions from the site.
Okay, looks like this after our cleaning. The landowner will collect the rest of the branches. Not bad at all. And look at this. We could save these firewood piles.
Please write the comment which tree surprised you the most. Stay safe out there.